I'll mute myself, get rid of that.
So good morning, and today we're going to focus on a couple of things. We're going to focus on the upper body, doing some movements that build both flexibility and strength. So make sure you have your yoga tie handy because we're going to be using that. We're also going to review alternate nostril breathing. I'm going to teach it to you before we do our centering so that when the time comes at the end, the final relaxation, you can just go into the practice. And I love alternate nostril breathing because it's very balancing, it's very calming, it's very soothing. And the other thing we're going to focus on is we're going to do some eye exercises. We're spending a lot of time at the computer, reading, watching television, and all of this creates a great deal of tension in and around the eyes. So we're going to be working on some yogic exercises for the eyes. So I hope that helps you. So alternate nostril breathing, we're going to be using the right hand. So I want you to practice with me now while you can see me clearly. I'm going to take my glasses off because my glasses kind of get in the way when I'm doing the hand placement. You're going to be using your thumb and your ring finger. These other fingers, you're just going to either curl into your palm or let them be extended. Okay, I know this looks like my left hand to you, but it's actually my right hand. So to begin, you place your thumb, you want to be over where the nostril flares out. You want to be on the cartilage. And you don't have to press too hard. So you're just going to breathe in through the left side and then place the ring finger on that side, release the thumb, exhale from the right. Breathe in through the right, block that nostril, release the ring finger, and breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left, block the nostril, release, and breathe out on the right. Again, breathing in through the right, block the nostril, release the ring finger, exhale from the left. Good, and then release. So we'll be doing that, and I invite you to practice that. Sometimes it takes a little bit of concentration, which is fine. And it's also because you have to concentrate on your breathing, it helps to bring about more mindfulness of the breathing. All right, so let's begin. Coming to your seat, allowing your feet to ground firmly with the earth. And let's just circle the shoulders. All that tension that builds up in the upper body. Trying to let that go. Let's go in the other direction. Great. And then hoist those shoulders all the way up to your ears. Create fists with your hands. Tighten the muscles of your arms. Press your feet into the floor. Tighten your belly. Clench your jaw. Squint your eyes. And then let all of that tension go with a sigh. Let's do that once more. Shoulders up. Create fists, find a muscle you can squeeze and squeeze it. Hold the breath in and then release it with a sigh. Allowing your eyes to remain closed here or just looking softly towards the floor. Setting aside all of those things that happened earlier in the day and all of your concerns about what may happen later. You want to be able to fully focus on the moment, the body, and the breath. As you grow quiet, begin to observe any areas in your body that might be holding on to a little extra tension or tightness. And just notice those sensations without judgment or writing a story. Become aware of the mind chatter, all of those thoughts arising. And you can imagine that you're just watching them float by like clouds on a summer day. You don't have to engage. Allowing your breath to get a little bit deeper as you move into Dirga Pranayam, breathing into a soft, open belly and inviting the breath up through the chest all the way to your shoulders. And as you exhale, exhaling from the top down, giving the belly a little squeeze at the end of the exhale. Over the next 3 breaths, see how present you can become, joining together your body, your mind, your heart, your energy in this one never to be repeated moment. When you complete that 3rd exhale, just gently put that technique to one side so your natural breath can return. Notice how you feel. And we'll bring our centering to close by bringing hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position in front of the heart. And let's lift our voices in the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Om. Om. Shanti. Peace. May our practice bring us peace. Good. So opening your eyes if they're closed, let's just breathe some sun breaths. Maybe the sun will come out. Please, God. Breathing in and lifting. And breathing out and lowering. So just beginning to notice those parts, particularly in the upper body, that where you might be hanging on to a little tension. Builds up there very, very quickly. So as I breathe this in-breath in, I'm going to move into seated mountain, allowing my fingers to lift as my shoulders glide down my back body, pressing your feet into the floor, connecting with the earth. So let's imagine there's a ladder in front of us that we're going to climb. So reaching up and pulling down one hand at a time. Reach up as far as you can and then actively pull it down. You want to be able to feel this movement all the way down into the waist, upper hips. Breathing and reaching. So it's an inhale as you reach up and an exhale as you pull it down. Couple more times, climbing higher on that ladder. And then reaching up one more time into mountain. growing as tall as you can in your seat. Good. So we'll lower the arms down just so they're shoulder height. Let's turn the palms up as you breathe in. And as you exhale, rotate them back. So breathing in, lifting the palms. Exhale, turning them down. Take a minute to notice what's happening in your shoulder blades in the back body as you do this. Very subtle movement, opening the shoulder blades. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, lift, and exhale, turn it down. Good. So turning the palms up, this time we're going to touch the fingertips to our shoulders and begin to circle the elbows. So taking a moment to notice what direction you're circling in, because after a bit, we're going to switch it up and go the other way. Letting out any grunts and groans and sighs. Couple more in this direction. Great. And then pause and reverse it. Do you ever notice how you have a habitual way of moving? And when you switch it up and go in the other way, your brain goes, ooh, what just happened? So yoga is really good for your brain, forming those new connections with the neurons. Great, let's do one more big circle here. And then open those arms wide. Breathe in and float them down, and just take a moment to notice how your shoulders feel. So let's move through the 6 movements of the spine, beginning with the dog and the cat, which is an excellent upper body opener, excellent for the back. So inhaling, opening your chest, bringing your chest forward, shoulders and elbows back, breathing into dog. And then exhaling, rolling off your sit bones, tucking your chin, exhaling into cat. Breathe in and down. And it's always perfectly fine if your rhythm that you fall into with this doesn't match mine. If you're going a little faster or a little slower, that's perfectly fine. Also, if you feel like you want to hold in one position for a couple of breaths, just because it feels good, you don't need my permission to do that. Once more, breathing in and breathing out. Guiding your spine back to a nice upright position. Let's move into our twist, starting with the right arm, bringing energy and breath from fingertips to shoulder. Bring that palm to your left knee, left hand to the side of your chair. So as always, we work the breath. The in-breath lifts us, lengthens our spine, and the out-breath helps us twist. I'm going to cross my left leg over the right. Just an option if you choose. Couple of breaths here. Relaxing those shoulders. And let's use the next inhale to come out of the twist on this side. Take a breath. Moving to the other side, left arm stretches up. So almost as if you could reach all the way across to the other side of the room. And then exhale, bring that palm to your right knee, right hand to your chair. Lengthening as you breathe in, rotating as you breathe out. Always being conscious not to over twist in the neck. I'm going to take my right leg over the left. One more nice deep breath, please. And then let's bring it back to center. And get ready for thread the needle. Right arm. Sliding it along your left thigh. Going at whatever pace to whatever level feels best for you this morning. Make sure the head is relaxed. You can add an arm sweep with the left arm if that feels good. Two more breaths. Good, and release that. Pause for a breath in between sides. Left arm stretches out, slides along the thigh. Remembering not to assume that one side is going to be identical to the other. Could be very different. Could be more flexible, could be less flexible. Everybody's different. How about a couple more breaths here? Good. And then let the inhale guide you back. Pause for another breath. And let's find our yoga ties. So remember, with these tie stretches, they're designed to build strength in the upper body. But always know that if something hurts, please don't do it. And if you get tired or your body says that's enough with one particular movement, feel free to stop. So we hold the tie in opposite hands, straightening the elbows and putting tension on opposite ends. So we're going to keep that engagement in the shoulders as long as we can during these movements. Great. So let's inhale, lift the tie up, reach it back. Breathe back, and then exhale forward. Try to hinge right at the hips. Keep the tension in the tie. Good. Inhale, bring it up. And reach it back. Breathing in through center and exhaling as you fold forward. So you're inhaling as you come through the center and exhaling as you reach back or as you bend forward. Let's do that a couple more times. And as I said, if your arms are feeling uncomfortable or tired, you can always just rest for a bit. And then guide it back to center. So now we're going to begin to go from side to side. So let's arch to the right. Now notice that both of my arms are nice and straight. I'm not bending the elbows. Good. Inhale through center, exhale to the other side. Back through center as you breathe in and reaching to the other side. Don't hesitate to let your breath go with a sound. Exhaling through the mouth sometimes helps too, to guide the body a little deeper into relaxation. So let's go to the right this time and pause. Grounding through your sitting bones, pressing your feet into the floor. You can do a little forward and back rock. And you're investigating, you're curious, you're exploring where there's tension in your body and what movement in particular will help you release. And then reaching more to the side, let's breathe it up and go over to the left where we pause again. Again, making sure that you're grounded on your chair and you can rock forward and back. So we're always keeping a nice amount of tension on the thigh. You're going to begin to feel it in those muscles now. Okay, reaching over one more time. Let's come up to center and then begin to do some circles. See if you can allow the circling to go all the way down into your waist and hips. Keeping the tension on the thigh. Let's do a couple more in this direction. And then reverse. It's fine to let out those sounds. The body loves to make noise. And one more time, stretch the thigh and then release it. Take a moment to notice the sensations. And let's just stretch those muscles a bit. So I'm going to draw my left arm across my chest and gently press. Please make sure you're sitting up nice and tall as you do this. And then let's go to the other side. So, you know, even though we're moving a focus on specific muscle groups, you always want to try to be aware of as much of your body as you can, even though you're paying attention in particular to one area. Great, and let's let that go. So I'm going to put my tie aside and we're going to do our eye exercises. I'm going to take my glasses off because I don't need them. So the suggestion that was made, whether you're sitting and watching television or reading or sitting at the computer, every 20 minutes to look away into the distance at least 20 feet. So you got that? If you're sitting and looking at something up close for 20 minutes, take a break, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. And that helps to adjust the eye muscles and helps them relax. So I'm going to begin just by doing a little massage around my eyes. And there's no particular way to do this. You want to be a little gentle because it's your face. I'm just going to take my index finger and my middle finger and just, you can kind of let your eyes be at half mast for this. I'm just going to do little circles around the eyes, the upper cheeks, into the center of the nose. I'm just going to go around a couple of times. Good. And then relax. So make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. And the only thing that's going to move in these exercises is your eyes. Okay, so the rest of the body stays quiet, the head stays quiet. So look up and look down. Look up and look down. Make sure you're not holding your breath as you do this. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Bring the eyes back to center. Good. Turn your eyes to gaze to the right. Remember, the eyes are the only thing that's moving, not the head. And then slowly move your eyes to the left. Come back to center and to the right. And back to the left. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Back to the right. And to the left. And back to center. So now we're going to get a little bit fancy here. So you're going to have to concentrate. So look up and to the right. And then down and to the left. So you're making a little diagonal movement with your eyes. Up and to the right, down and to the left. up and to the right, down and to the left. And let's do that once more. Up to the right, down to the left. Return your gaze to center. And now we're going to draw a diagonal in the other direction. So up and to the left, down and to the right. Just the eyes are moving. Up to the left, down to the right. Looking up, diagonally down. Let's do that once again. Up and to the left, down and to the right. And then return your gaze to center. So the last movement with the eyes is to draw a circle with your gaze. The head will not move. So the best way to do this is to move your eyes very slowly, because you'll find they tend to get stuck at looking at things. And so to make the movement as fluid as you can. So just begin to do some circles with the eyes, as if the eyes were the hands of a clock. It takes quite a bit of concentration. Make sure the rest of your body is relaxed. Let's create one more circle here. Bring it back to center. Now let's make some circles in the other direction. Don't rush it. Take your time. Let's do one more. And then bring it back to center. Notice how you feel. Now, the last part is to give the eyes a little energy back. They call it palming. So we're going to rub our palms together, generate a little energy, a little warmth. And then I'm going to cup my hands in front of my eyes. I'm going to close my eyes. So my palms are not actually touching my closed eyes, but they're kind of hovering in front. Relax your shoulders. Feel the warmth from your palms. And when the palms start to cool down, you can rub them together again to get them a little warmer. And we'll repeat that one more time. So you're breathing in the warmth, you're breathing in the energy. And then when the palms cool, just release that. Take a minute to notice how you feel. Good. All right, so now we have happy eyes. Let's go for a walk. I like to make sure that I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on my feet as they land on the ground because it feels good. I'm going to pump my arms. You don't need to, but you can. And then the other part, if you want to up the ante, is to bring the opposite elbow and the knee together with an exhale. So the upper body stays straight. The knee is coming up towards the elbow, not the other way around. You'll feel your abdominal muscles working. Next time that right knee comes up, let's pause. Draw the knee up, relax your shoulders, sit up tall. Find your breath. And from here, we'll move into the figure 4 stretch. At whatever level is accessible to you today. I'm going to put my ankle on top of my thigh, pressing down gently on the knee, drawing the foot up, reading the level of sensation in your upper outer right hip. That's where you need to target your attention. I'm going to lean forward to make it a little bit deeper. Stay with the breath. How about one more breath here? Let it go with a sigh. And release the figure four stretch. Take a breath and we'll move to the other side. March a little further. It really helps when you blow the breath out like you're blowing out candles. It helps with the movement. A couple more times. And then we'll lift the left knee and draw it in towards the body. Right foot is flat on the floor. Good, wonderful. Let's move into the figure four stretch on this side. And I always take a minute to really lengthen my spine. And I find that just by doing that, I get a deeper stretch in my hip area. So knee moves down, foot moves up, opening that piriformis muscle, leaning forward if you like. Giving your head a little bit of shake. That's always a good reminder to keep the neck soft. Good, and inhale. Come on up and release that. So let's move into seated eagle. And I like eagle for this time when we're looking at eye exercises, because really eagle is really all about focus. In Sanskrit, the name of the pose is Garudasana. And Garuda was this mythical eagle-like bird that was the guardian of the underworld. So let's become that mythical bird. I'm going to bring the backs of my hands together, breathing in. And then as I exhale, I'm going to draw the left arm across my chest and wrap it with the right. Now, you know that your alternative is just to place your hands across your chest like this. Draw the elbows down, engage the upper arms. Take your left foot, cross it over your right, and squeeze the thighs together. Now, find your gaze. They call it the drishti, the gaze. You should be looking beyond your hands, off in the distance. Face is quiet, gaze is quiet. Breath is very focused. Keep the squeeze in the upper arm bones and in the thighs. Wonderful. Let's move to the other side. So I'm going to uncross my legs, open my wings, and then go in the other direction. So the right will wrap around the left. Draw your elbows down. Bring up the squeeze in the upper arms. Cross the right foot over the left and squeeze your thighs as close to each other as you can manage.
find your drishti, your gaze. Having a nice steady gaze also helps your spine stay engaged. Let's take one more delicious breath. Release your feet.
Release your arms. Allow them to float down and take a breath. We'll come up to standing now, and we'll come up through chair pose. So allow your feet to move back so they're slightly under the chair and the heels are up. I'm going to begin with my hands at my waist. Inhale, exhale, press into the floor. Allow the heels to come down. Shoulders are back. Gaze is steady. You can add your arms out to the front, out to the side, or overhead. Find your gaze. Nice, steady gaze. Nice, steady breath. One more breath. Inhale, exhale, lower the arms, straighten the legs, and pause just for a breath to notice where you feel sensation. Okay. I'm going to begin towards the left side of my chair, and I'm just going to warm up a little bit for balance. So I'm going to inhale, lift my heels, come up on my toes, exhale, drop it down. Inhale, lift up the heels, exhale, drop them down. And again, inhale, up on the toes, exhale, drop them down. Rocking your feet from side to side. So the knees will get involved here. They'll be a little bit soft. Just checking in with what's going on with balance today. So we're going to be doing a triangle pose and runner stretch, and then archer, because archer is such a wonderful pose for gaze and focus. Good. So I'm going to step my feet apart. Make sure the knees are soft. Turn the foot closest to the chair so the toes are pointing. That's your left foot, or excuse me, your right foot. Turn your left foot in slightly. And let's lift the left arm. Nice side stretch. Release the chair if you don't need it to feel safe. And notice the impact of your gaze on what you're doing. Do you feel steadier looking straight ahead, looking up, or looking down? Choose what works for you. Good. Let's inhale. Guide that arm up. Turn both feet now so they're facing the chair. We're coming into runner stretch. So remembering that this is a straight back pose, we're just going to begin to hinge at the hips. Slowly placing your hands wherever you're comfortable. I'm actually going to release the chair and bring my hands behind my back. Don't lock your knees. Good. And inhale. Let's come up. Step your feet together. And we'll get ready for archer pose. So just take a little step behind your chair because we're going to be stepping forward. So I'm going to extend my left arm. If you need to keep one hand on the chair for balance, that's fine. If you don't, bring that hand to the back of your head. Let the back of your head rest in your open palm. Great. So keep moving that elbow back. Take a breath in Step forward on your left foot. And you've seen me do this before. I do a little front to back rock just to feel the stillness. And then I settle in and begin to rotate. So your gaze is on your thumb. That helps keep you steady. Keep drawing the right elbow back. Good. Inhale. Gaze towards the thumb. Circle back. And take a walking step forward with your right foot. Sink down a little bit. And let's rotate again to the left. Nice and slow. Gaze on the thumb. Opening the chest, opening the shoulders. Good. Breathe it back to center. Nice and slow. Release your hands. Step your feet side by side. Take a breath. And we'll go to the other side. So let's take a step out. Getting ready for triangle. I'm going to turn my left foot so it's facing the chair. Right foot turns in slightly. And that right arm reaches up. So I'm allowing this hip to be free to move out to the side. Good. If you don't need your left hand for balance, release it. And again, play with the gaze. Notice what feels good, whether it feels better to look down, to the horizon, or up. Looking up is a little more challenge as far as balance goes. So you decide. Great. Let's breathe it up. Get ready for runner stretch. Both feet now facing the chair. And here we go. So flat back, you're going to hinge right at the hips. Soften your knees. As you start to bend forward, resist that urge to lock the knees. Neck is soft. And let's inhale up and out of runner stretch. Getting ready for archer on this side. So stepping back just a little bit. I'm going to build my bow and arrow again. Remember, if you need to keep a hand on the chair, that's absolutely fine. Fix your gaze at your thumb or a little bit beyond. Good. Take a walking step forward with your right foot. Ground yourself and slowly rotate to the right. Oh, we have some puppy dreams going on the bed. It's always so cute when they do that. Breathing it back. I always wonder what they're dreaming about. Good. Walking step forward with the left foot. Left elbow moves back. And let's go again. Keep drawing that elbow back. And guide it back to center. Nice and slow. Excellent. Lower your hands. Step your feet together. Take a breath and take a seat. So just before we settle in to do our relaxation, just do a little twist from side to side. Letting go of any remaining tension that's there. And then bringing it to center. And I'll invite you to join me in a little alternate nostril breathing to settle in. So we're going to be using the right hand, placing the thumb just above the nostril, breathing in through the left. Block the nostril, release the thumb, exhale from the right. Breathe in, block with the thumb, release the ring finger out through the left. In through the left and out through the right. Keeping your shoulders relaxed. Knowing that you're balancing all of the energy you generated through your practice, balancing the two hemispheres of your brain. And after a few more side to side breaths, ending with an exhale from the left, you can release that technique and just allow yourself to sit and notice the echoes of your practice in your body, your mind, and your energy. Bringing your hands to prayer position. Let's close our time together by joining our voices once again in the sound of Om. Om. Om Shanti, pause, Pachem, peace, Shalom. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be always free from fear. And may all beings everywhere know peace. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan. Hail, great beings.